Hey guys, Caleb Sketches here. Hey, we're almost back out on the water, but I've got something to show you today. I got another, it's a version of a mystery tackle box, except it's all Googan Squad. I cannot believe what all was in this box, and I'm going to ask y'all's opinion on what you recommend. I'm going to give a little bit more information on what I would recommend using these for as well as a little tip video. So without further ado, here we go. Alright guys, so this whole tub I filled with what came in that box. So for starters, you've got this Recon from Googan Squad. Look at this crankbait. It's a deep diver. It dives anywhere from 8 to 12 feet deep, weighs 5/8 of an ounce. And the best time you're going to do this is when those fish are being more lethargic and they want a good amount of wobble out there. So if you can use that to your advantage, especially this color, it's really awesome. This color specifically is the Cosmo Shad. I've heard a lot about this, so I'm looking forward to giving that a try in these upcoming spring and summertime. But I might even throw it in the winter if we can get down some of those deeper holes without getting it caught. So that's a nice bait for one. Next, you've got these little creek baits. You've got the Micro Banger in the Sriracha Crawl color. This thing is a 1 to 3 foot diver. It is 1 1/2 inch and it only weighs 1/8 of an ounce. So you're going to be using this on some type of light gear, but that color is hard to beat. This actual color I had on a spinner bait last year, and that's what I caught a trophy crappie on. So you can catch a variety of species with this color, and this will be perfect for getting your little bass that aren't really sure about committing to a bigger bait. So there's that one. Next, you got the good old poppin' filthy frog. Find those around the good old marsh patches. If you find a vegetation spot, 5/8 of an ounce, 2 1/2 inch. This is the bullfrog color, so you've got the green and yellow on top, I believe the yellow and black belly on the bottom. So it's a nice frog to have in your arsenal. Second, we've got a good old spinner bait. This is the Zinger. They have a different variety now. This has a Colorado blade and a willow blade. It's 3/8 of an ounce, and this is the bluegill color. I've actually caught a couple different largemouth on this color in the past. Bluegill and the shad color and the Sriracha or the Sunrise Crawl are probably my favorite colors to go with for the Zinger. Then you've got the Revolver. This is their version of a topwater plopper, and this is in the Sexy Shad color. So it's hard to beat that color when you're doing something on top water, because you got the white bottom with the yellow, the slight tinge of red on the mouth, and then as that plops, they'll see that black spot, and if they come up high enough, they'll even see the blue back like a shad. So that's a really nice color to have, especially when those bass start getting aggressive in the springtime and feeding heavily. Then you've got another, this is the Mini Zinger. More of a lighter profile. It's 1/4 of an ounce instead of 3/8, and it's got a Colorado number 2 and a Willow 3. This is the Chartreuse and white. This is one of those shad patterns I told y'all about, and the bass just seem to love it. I've even caught striper on it before. Next, you've got your little juicy jig. It's a little finesse style jig. It's in the Okeechobee Crawl color with a 4/0 hook. So that'll be a nice one to just throw on the bottom and slowly work it as you're going for that big bite. I have got pretty good bass on jig. It wasn't a juicy, I was using a swim jig, this exact color. And that 3.5 pound bass ate it heavy. And you've got the Blooper, which is their version of a topwater plopper. This is in the bone color. So you've got that nice white and yellow combination, and you've even got the feather on the hook. The feathers on the hook really do make a bite more likely. That's actually how I caught one of my first topwater bass, is having that feather on the end of the hook, and it just came up and munched it. It's really hard to beat a topwater bite when they're hitting that time of year. So 3/8 of an ounce, 2 3/4 inches, not a bad profile. And then you've got the thick flipping jig. This is when you want to throw stuff into heavy cover vegetation. It's 1/2 of an ounce. It'll help you get through that stuff. It's a black and blue, and it's a 5/0. So you've got a little bigger hook along with your weed guard to help keep your bait on there and to be able to get that fish through there. And this color, the black and blue, is one I would recommend year round. Normally when I'm throwing a lizard, it's probably a black and blue or a purple type of deal. Then you've got the hound. I've actually never thrown one of these. I've wanted to. This is the nightclub color. So it's black. If you hit it in the light right, it's got shimmers of purple. It's got some yellow on the sides. It's hard to showcase in the package, but it's also got that one treble hook that's got the feather on it, and that can make a huge difference. It's another topwater style bait, so we'll get out there and try this out when it starts warming up some. And you've got another frog. This is the generic color. It's the leopard frog, your standard green with the white bottom. Just another good old frog. This is the filthy frog, so instead of popping it, you're more trying to reel this one back slowly. It's a hollow body. It's always nice to have different frog presentations. Then you've got the Grande Banger. This is the big old crankbait. 3 to 7 foot diver, 3 inches long and 3/4 of an ounce. So it's heavy. It doesn't go as deep as the Recon, but you can still hit those middle level water spots to find those bass. As you can see, it's a really nice color. Got the blue on top, the yellow and green on the side, all the way down to the white. And this is the citrus shad color. Probably one of my favorites to use. I had a smaller version of this before, went out and just kept nailing some yellow bass and other little bass on a micro gear, and it was a lot of fun. And we've got a couple more jigs. This is a juicy jig. This isn't the finesse version, it's the casting version, 3/8 of an ounce. A juicy jig again. This is green pumpkin 5/0. It's another one of those you're just gonna try to get out there and work it on the bottom. You may put a worm on there, you may put some type of creature bait, but it's another one of those presentations. It's slow roll it or maybe even slightly swim it. And then last but not least is the clickbait. This is the vibrating jig. So how you want to work this is you'll put whatever creature bait you want on there. If you want to have an extra trailer, this bait itself does pretty good on its own. And as you're reeling it slowly back to whatever speed through the water, that blade on the top is going to vibrate kind of like a spinner bait would, and it's going to attract more strikes. So clickbait's definitely one I have in my arsenal. Green pumpkin 5/0. I mean, hard to beat that. And all this stuff you see right here, every bit of it, was all in one Googan box that Shop Carl's had for Christmas. I think the box itself was like 20 or 30 bucks. If y'all know anything about Googan Squad, any of these baits run you anywhere from the smaller ones are like $6, but the bigger ones are anywhere from 8 to 12 a piece. So ton of value for what I got there. So y'all let me know in the comments what you want to see. I'll definitely be fishing with some of this stuff coming up. I've got a little announcement I'm going to put in this video. If all goes well, I'm going to be fishing with the Watts Bar Kayak Fishermen in this upcoming year in kayak bass fishing tournaments. So hopefully all goes well and we'll be able to do that. And I've already got my tournament little placard that I can put my identification on, and hopefully we'll get to compete this year. So guys, I hope y'all enjoyed this unboxing, going through gear, also giving you tips on how to utilize it, when to, type of deal. Again, I'm hoping I can get out there and start doing those tournaments when it warms up. Got the kayak all rigged and ready, so it'd be nice to get out there and start catching some good bass from the good old yak. So thank y'all for bearing with me as I've gone through all this craziness with weather, with healing from this oral surgery. But I'm going to be getting back out there as soon as I can. Just weather's been nuts lately. We go from ice and snow to pouring rain for a week, so we'll see what happens, but I'm going to get out there as soon as I can, hopefully find us some big ones. As always, thank y'all so much for subscribing. The channel is growing greatly, and I can't thank you enough. So this is Caleb Sketches reminding you, we're here to teach the world to fish, one cast at a time.